All right, another day working on the Oldsmobile. So we've got the driver's door here in a tub that's filled with vinegar and water. I buy this 30% vinegar at Lowe's and then dilute it down. You can dilute it down as much as 3%, so you can do 10 to 1 water. Right now I've got 5 to 1, so I'm at about 6%. Basically, the higher the percentage, the faster the vinegar and not more effectively, but more quickly the vinegar will work. I dilute it down because it's 20 bucks a bottle, and so this gets me a stronger vinegar cheaper. Anyway, because the stuff you buy in the store, like for home use, is 3%. So that's what I meant by you can dilute this down 10%. You'll still get the same strength you buy in the bottle. So right now I'm running 6%. So this is kind of crammed in weirdly because I could not find a bin that was big enough to hold the door lengthwise. There's 10 gallons of vinegar solution in the bottom. There's a little pump I got from Harbor Freight that's sort of like a fountain running up, and I've got it running up here right now. Basically, I tried using these little like sprayer nozzles that you use for like lawn, like watering flower beds, but that pump doesn't produce enough pressure. So if I have one of those nozzles on it, either dribbles or it just doesn't pump, depending on the nozzle design, because it can't force it out with enough force to be a spray. So it just kind of does nothing or dribbles. So now I've just got the hose and I'm just going to point the hose at different things. What I'm trying to do is do my best to de-rust the inside of the door where I'm not going to be able to grind away at anything. And also I want to soak the bottom of the door as best as possible to try and get the rust off of that. So this is going to be here for hours basically, and like I said, every once in a while I'm going to move the thing because I want to soak everything in vinegar to give it a chance to break up. You can see though, like I sprayed this with vinegar briefly, and you can see it's doing a pretty good job of taking the rust down. So like this is especially effective for surface rust, but it's also good if you've got pitted rust that you can't get in there and get the rust out of every little pit with a brush or something. This will get the rust out of that so that you can then do something with it. The only downside of using this vinegar stuff is you have to rinse it with baking soda water after to neutralize the vinegar, and it will immediately flash rust the surface at least a little bit. But what I do is use this and then go over it with like PR15 or Master Series rust sealing paints, but it means I've gotten rid of the thick rust. So at that point, it seems to work really well. I did this on some other stuff. I don't remember what I used. I used it on something else recently. It worked really well for getting rust off of really nasty, gnarly stuff. So this door is going to sit here and grill away and fill my garage with the scent of vinegar. Like seriously, it smells like a pickle factory in here. But that's working its way. I'm going to do that with this other door, and then I need to figure out how to do the same basic idea with the front of the hood. And then over here, I'm working on getting the trim clips off. Basically, I've been grinding the heads off, and then once you grind the heads off, you can kind of pop the clip off. I think all the easy ones have already popped off, but anyway, they'll pop off once you grind enough off. Worst case, you have to give them a quick hit with a punch, but it gets them off when they're completely rusted together from the backside and you can't unscrew them. And then that'll give me the axis, that'll give me a flat surface here that I can then grind away so I can work on getting the quarter cleared off. I'm going to take the rear bumper off, which is going to involve taking the trailer hitch off. I've got to get these lights and stuff off. There's still back here there is still Plastidip that needs to get stripped a little bit, just where it oversprayed behind there, but I'm going to get that dealt with. This side, the two doors have got to come off in order to strip them. The fender has to come off so I can get that trim off of it. So this is all requires a little bit of extra work. I'd love to not have to take these off, but I can't get at the trim effectively, especially on the fender, without them off the car. I could probably do the doors, but it's going to be easier if I can lay them down to get them stripped off. And then I need to find a solution for this dent. I don't know if it shows up well on camera at all, but there is a deep dent in this panel here. This upper part doesn't worry so much. I feel like I could pop that out, but the lip over here has been bent and damaged. This is something I do not feel any confidence doing myself, so I need to find a body man in the area who works on old cars who can get this lip straight and get this out and straightened out so that this will actually look good, because I don't have any confidence I will get it right, and I don't want to do it half-assed. Like, I don't want to start fucking with this and cause more problems for somebody trying to do it right. I'd rather just strip the metal down and then go from there. I suspect this quarter is also going to have filler in the front edge here, like the other one did. I can't tell, I'm not grinding away at it, but I have a strong suspicion I'm going to find filler there too. But yeah, gonna get at it. I'm gonna put you on time lapse and go for it. Alright, so finally got the bumper off this. It just took me forever. I was able to loosen the 6 main bolts on it, but the ends were impossible. One side I was able to get the outer one out, but the other one I ended up having to sawzall off, saw the bracket off to get the bumper out. And then to get the brackets off the car, I had to just actually cut the bracket, cut through the bolts, just utterly destroy them because they were in there, and the other end of the bolts, which was inside the frame, was completely destroyed, so there was no loosening the bolt, and that was the only way I could get it free. But either way, bumper is now off. We'll see once I put the Pontiac bumpers on whether they cover this access hole that the other one has, or whether I'm gonna have to weld something in there or not. But yeah, and overall we're good. This isn't too bad. There's one spot of rust under here, is basically the only issue I found, but I'm pretty sure I can grind that clean and just weld a quick patch over it. It should be fine. But yeah, on to the next step, more stripping. done for today because there's a storm rolling in, so obviously I don't want this out. Got the bumper off, got the brackets off, got the little modesty thingy off. Started stripping the trunk. I didn't take the other stuff off because I just wanted to get to stripping. But I'm at, you know, a little more than halfway through that. You saw my friend was working on this quarter for a while. He's got a fair chunk of that stripped down, so that's awesome. Making progress there. The door is burbling away here. It did punch through the side of the tub with its own weight, so I had to prop that end up so it stopped leaking. But I've got my little pump going, spraying my vinegar solution, and it's doing its job in there, so that's awesome. So yeah, another day, another little bit of progress. Talk to you later. Bye.